Welcome back to another weekly roundup of cloud gaming news brought to you by yours truly. Remember, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest in cloud gaming, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next one. And of course, if you enjoy the content, give the video a like, it helps the channel out a lot. But for now, let's jump into the news. And first up, let's start with Stadia news. So last week we talked about the free weekend being held for Stadia Pro subscribers to check out Borderlands free and predicted that we would probably see some kind of follow-up sale. And wow, a sale we got. The base version of Borderlands free is currently available at 50% off for £25. But as well as that, we also got Doom Eternal, also 50% off at just £25. The classic Doom 64 is available for £1.99. Elder Scrolls Online, the base game, is available for £10. Rage 2 going for £8. And finally, Wolfenstein Youngblood for £16.24. For some reason. Deluxe editions for most of these games are also available and also on sale if you wanted to check them out. But I'm interested to hear from you. Are these the kind of prices you'd like to see more often on Google Stadia? Or are they still too high when you compare them to the flat subscription model like Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? Let me know in those comments down below. Next in Stadia news, just a quick one, but with no official numbers being released from Google, it's difficult to get a gauge on the actual number of players and how many of those players are on the free tier versus how many are actually paying for the Pro subscription. Although, if you do try to find a game in a non-crossplay title like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you can get a pretty good idea.
I'm just so lonely!
But what is public information is a number of Stadia app downloads from the Google Play Store. So the guys over at Gamer Guru have given us this snapshot into Stadia downloads for the first half of the year. So taking a closer look, kinda unsurprisingly with its rocky start, before the free tier was announced, the daily download average from the Google Play Store sat at around 1,800 downloads a day. Then boom, obviously the free tier drops, and that number spikes by 1,700% to, at its peak, 32,000 downloads a day, which we then see regulate out and back down to around 5,000 downloads per day. So what are your thoughts on these figures? Almost a year into the service, would you expect to see more downloads per day? Would you expect to see more of an upwards trend? And above all else, how many of those 32,000 people do you think kept their Pro subscription? I want a number from you in the comments down below. And finally, in Stadia news, I'm going to link to a video from my guys over at Cloud Gaming Extreme, who broke the news story around the Android TV app now supporting 4K and HDR for Google Stadia. Like, they announced it before 9to5Google. 9to5Google referenced them. As we've said in the past, Stadia isn't officially supported for Android TV yet, but it is possible to get it running with some workarounds. However, we've recently seen more and more features being slipped in for Android TV, hinting at an official release in the very near future. It's about time. It's not like you own the platform or anything. Next, if you've been experimenting with the free tier of GeForce Now and toying around with the idea of subscribing to the Founders tier, Nvidia has announced a bundle which makes that choice a whole lot easier. Celebrating the launch of Hyper Scape, Nvidia are now offering 6 months of GeForce Now Founders tier and the Hyper Scape Battle Pass, free rare cosmetic skins, and an emote. An emote, guys. And all of that is available for $24.95. Bearing in mind 6 months of GeForce Now should cost $30 on its own, and then the Hyper Scape Battle Pass is $10, I'd say it's a pretty good deal. Because emotes. You get emotes. But what happens if you're already a loyal GeForce Now founder? According to The Verge, if you already subscribe to GeForce Now through the Founders tier, which locks in your pricing at $4.99 a month, Nvidia says this new bundle will stack with that existing offer. In other words, you can pay the $25 now and get an additional 6 months of access to GeForce Now after your Founders pricing rate expires, in addition to the Hyper Scape benefits. Which, I'll be honest, still sounds confusing, but remember the $4.99 price tag for the Founders tier is still technically an introductory offer, and Nvidia has stated that they will review this price sometime next year. So if you're subscribed to the Founders tier and you grab this bundle, you'll basically keep paying $4.99 a month, and your 6 months, which is included in this bundle, will kick in once that Founders tier price increases sometime next year. So if you're a fan of playing PC games on your phone, Android phones, of course, you know, and you're a fan of Hyper Scape, this is definitely one to check out. On top of that, new week, new games for GeForce Now, which I'll throw up on the screen here. Couple to call out here, Remnant from the Ashes is actually one of the Epic Vault free titles this week, so it's good to see them adding those the same week they become free on the Epic Games Store. And I'm also a sucker for the South Park games. They added the Stick of Truth a few weeks ago, so it's good to see the Fractured Butthole being added. And this week we actually have a notable title returning to GeForce Now. No Offense Russian Fishing 4. This week, 2 Point Hospital makes its return to GeForce Now. So if you've never played that game before, prepare to start losing a lot of hours of your life. Next up, we have an update to what we can no longer call xCloud, but honestly, I'm not quite sure what to call it because it seems Microsoft hasn't even made up their mind. So Game Pass streaming ultimate thing.
Quest. Thank you.
In preparation for its official launch on September 15th, this week Xbox have released the Game Pass beta version of their app, which will give Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers access to 30 games in the lead up to the launch. So if you're an Ultimate subscriber and you're confused about how to get access to this, I wouldn't blame you, because there is now a game streaming xCloud preview app, which was previously open to anyone who had signed up for the preview, and that will continue running until the 11th of September. There's also an official Xbox Game Pass app, which currently contains the PC and console options, and as of Tuesday, we now have the Xbox Game Pass beta app, which is specifically for those Ultimate subscribers to get access to these 30 games during this beta period. After the 15th of September, it seems like that beta application will be closed down and the xCloud streaming portion of it will be moved into the official Xbox Game Pass app. Got it? It's pretty simple. At its launch, around 70 more titles will be added to the service, which costs $14.99 a month for access to Game Pass for console and PC, Xbox Live Gold, and come September, the Game Pass streaming ultimate.
Thank you.
So is this something you're going to check out? Honestly, if you're already in that Xbox ecosystem, I think it's a great package. But personally, I don't own an Xbox and only pay £4 a month for the Game Pass for PC. So the jump to £15 a month just to get access to the streaming bit is a bit of a jump for me. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next, just a friendly reminder, you should probably go over to Twitter and support the guys over at Epic, who, if you missed the news, have recently come into a somewhat legal clash with Apple. As we talked about recently in our recent Apple is anti-consumer video, we went through in more detail the Apple App Store guidelines and specifically talked about those which allow them to claim 30% of revenue coming from specific apps. Well, the guys over at Epic decided to just blatantly go against this guideline, and instead of making its customers pay for V-Bucks through the App Store, where Apple would take a 30% cut, decided to put a direct purchase option within the game, which undercut the App Store price for V-Bucks. But it's okay because Apple were totally cool with this and everyone is now friends. Nah, just kidding. As you can imagine, Apple did not take this well and now has officially removed the iOS version of Fornite from the App Store. So this is just a reminder to support Epic because they are pushing back on these Apple App Store guidelines, which currently prevent over 1.5 billion Apple users from accessing cloud gaming platforms like Stadia, Xbox Game Pass thing, and GeForce Now. And if you're still desperate to play Fortnite on an iPhone, well, of course, you could always just run the PC version through the Shadow app. So if you're not already signed up to Shadow, there's a link in the description down below. And finally, as I always do, I'll try and point you towards free games wherever I can to help get you through 2020. First up, if you're a PlayStation 4 player, Marvel's Avengers is currently having an open beta weekend. This was previously only available for people who had pre-ordered, and their beta was available from the 7th to the 9th, but it is currently open to all PlayStation 4 players this weekend. Also, if you have pre-ordered on either PC or Xbox, it's open to you this weekend, with finally the open beta being available on all platforms on August 21st to the 23rd, which we're still waiting to see if Stadia is included with that all platforms. Moving over to the free games from the Epic Game Vault. First up, we have the Alto Collection, in case you're a fan of linear skiing games and llamas, but for real, this one looks relaxing as hell. And also, as we previously talked about, Remnant from the Ashes, which is a third-person survival action shooter set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by monsters. Sounds pretty dope. Remnant from the Ashes can also be played solo or with up to 2 friends. But that's it from me, so of course, if you enjoyed the video, you found it somewhat helpful, a like rating would be appreciated. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next one. Hope everyone's staying safe out there, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.